Kia ora, my name's Jessie Stanley. I'm a spokesperson for a community group called Save Our Sands. We're trying to stop sand mining at the Mangawhai and Pakiri Embayment. So my history with Pakiri is that my family are from here. I spent the first part of my life growing up here. So I'd go to the beach pretty much any opportunity I could with my family. So intimately associated with this area. So sand is actually a global issue. It's a really hidden issue. I only kind of discovered it through my involvement with trying to protect this beach. But sand is a resource that people don't think about. And it's the second most exploited research in the whole of the world. It's incredibly important for concrete, but we're using it up too quickly. We're using it up at twice the amount that it's being produced. It takes millions of years to produce sand, and you can't just use sand from the Sahara. Sand from the ocean and in riverbeds is a special kind of configuration, and it allows people to build infrastructure with it. So yeah, sand is the second most exploited resource in the world. Us humans, we use sand for so many things. It's used in glass, it's used in concrete, it's even used in paint. So it's everywhere. And as many more people move into urban situations all across the world, we're building so quickly, yet our sand our sand strategies around the globe are not being thought of. So Pakiri and Mangawhai have been sand mined for almost 100 years. So vast amounts of sand have already been taken from this beach, approximately 10 million cubic metres. Now the sand mining company McCullum's have applied for 3 consents for another 35 years of sand mining. They want 9 million cubic metres, and to put this in perspective, take a 1 metre cube box of sand, line these up side by side. It'll give you the length of New Zealand not once but 6 times. It's such a huge amount of sand. And as a community, we've seen such speed in the changes of this beach recently. McCullum's Mining recently got a giant boat costing over $15 million with a thing called a suction trailer pipe. And the speed that this beach has been decimated has just left us all so shocked, which is why everybody has come out and joining SOS and fighting so hard to try and save this beach. 3 consents. It's a thing called project splitting, whereby it's the same embayment, but if you call something a far shore, a near shore and a mid shore, it allows the science to be kind of watered down. So this is costing our community so much more money because there's 2 hearings. Each RMA hearing costs over $1 million. We've gone through 1 hearing for the far shore. The commissioners made an amazing decision, a strong decision, and refused it. Right now my community is having to go through the whole another hearing with a whole new set of commissioners to educate. It's just such a waste of resource. So they have an enormous cargo ship boat that comes out here every night. You can hear it. Our community hear the sand, the drilling of the sand. It lights up the entire bay. They come and take the sand every night, equivalent to about a 3-story size home. It's just being absolutely ravaged. And they use this, it's called a suction trail pipe, and it just devastates entire ecosystem. We used to have shellfish in this bay. As a child, you'd pick up the most amazing shells. There's no shells on this beach anymore. There's no seaweed on this beach anymore. Local fishermen have gone out of business. Families that used to harvest scallops are no longer able to, they don't have businesses anymore. We had a survey of the ocean floor conducted last year from the first hearing. The results came back and it's been described as looking like a ploughed paddock. It's absolutely destroyed out there, and you can't see it. It's underneath the ocean. It's such a hidden aspect of an environmental, a devastating environmental catastrophe. So the reason we're trying to stop this is there are alternatives. Pakiri is a really unique landscape whereby the sand here was like a drop millions of years ago when the Waikato River flowed to this side of the island. So this sand is non-renewable. whereby there are consents for sand mining in other places where the system is of course open. Sand is regenerating at speed. So once this is gone, it's gone. And we're already seeing rocks here. We're seeing loss of habitat, fishing. It's just affecting so much at this beach, and we need to stop urgently. So McCullum Brothers Mining Company have been mining this for 100 years. They are a family-run business. That's what their PR company have generated them to say. And you know, it's a $1 billion contract, so they are fighting very hard. Our community is facing a David and Goliath battle. So yeah, it's a lot of money is at stake here. So because of the first hearing, the RMA hearing, it was established that there are a lot of individual groups that have been working hard, tirelessly to stop sand mining. We have the local iwi. They have for generations they've been trying to stop sand mining. We've got the Mangawhai Harbour Restoration Society, and they look after the harbour in Mangawhai, and we've also got Friends of Pakiri Beach. So we quickly realised that there were a lot of people, you know, individually working on this. So we decided to create Save Our Sands, to join forces, and it's just been amazing because we've been able to, I suppose, conquer and divide, divide and conquer. Everybody's got different skills within the group, and we've also been so lucky to have recently got the support from Greenpeace, and they've just been amazing. They've given us so much help with our strategy, support. We've also got Endangered Species Foundation on board, so we just really, through a united front, created, harnessed the people power, and we've created a momentum. Because sand is such an, people don't think about sand. It's such a, you think, oh, sand, look, the beach, there's so much sand here, people think. But it's just, we're not thinking about it in relation to how much we're using for building. So we have been trying to raise awareness about this and get it on people's mind, because it's been such an afterthought. Having Greenpeace and the Endangered Species Foundation be part of SOS has allowed our skill level to be enhanced. Quickly, we've just got contact with the most amazing strategic minds, and just support and credibility as well. Through their platforms, we're able to share our information as well and just be connected. It's really exciting to be doing something. I think it's really hard to feel like you can help something, but I'm seeing with my very own eyes that with people, this amazing community coming forward and people joining forward and saying, no, we don't want this as a community, we're really seeing traction here. People are starting to see that we want this stopped and listen to us. The impact of SOS being around is that I think we've really started to gain traction in the media. The story is no longer hidden. We've got our social media platforms, and yeah, we're gaining momentum where people are much more aware of sand being an issue. A huge success was all the enormous amount of work that the people involved in the community did to stand up at the first hearing. It took 1.5 years for the commissioners to go through the science and refuse the consent. So that was the first kind of mark. The mining company have now taken us to the Environment Court, and now we've got another RMA hearing to battle through. But an incredible thing that happened, and it started with Damon Clapshaw from Friends of Pakiri Beach. He's an amazing man. He has been tirelessly watching the boats. He lives in Scotland. He watches the boats every single night, and he saw a pattern happening whereby the boats were only in like 5% of their entire consented area, and he thought that surely has to be a problem for the seafloor. He took it upon himself to create, he calls it a Dad's Army style crew of people. So he said, oh my gosh, this is a problem. Without any prior knowledge, he organised a boat, a salvage digger, so it was like a treasure hunter, and he organised like a 4x2 style kind of like salvage trip, and he took a side sonar, and he was the first person to uncover deep underwater trenches. We're not talking nothing here, we're talking 20 kilometre long trenches, 4 metres across 6 metres deep. So these are enormous. And what's so disgusting is that the mining company showed some science at the hearings and the sonar was turned off. Why did you not see that area is full of trenches? I do not know what happened in the science there, but because of Damon's amazing work, the commissioners went and commissioned a whole survey underneath the sea. We got the results back. It's described as a ploughed field out there, which correlates to everything this community has seen. No shellfish, no fishing, no seaweed. It's a whole ecosystem there. When you go and suck up sand from the bottom of the ocean, you're destroying whole ecosystems, let alone there's a thing called plumage and sediment from all those tons of sand that then coats all the other wildlife. There's nothing left out there. We need to stop, we need to let this beach regenerate if we're ever going to save it. We have people in our group who are conducting hard science, working with scientists. We've got people looking at the economics of it, and there's also the raising awareness, which is through kind of social media and connecting with media. So I've been doing everything in my power to work with media, social media, working, we've got an amazing event happening on the 10th of July where we're protesting. We're getting everybody who's concerned in the community to be at Mangawhai Beach, and we will send a powerful message to the next set of commissioners, to the Environment Court, that this is real. Our community want this stopped, and we want this stopped urgently. Enough. Well, there are alternatives. So what we need to start doing as a society is thinking about the future. We're running out of sand globally. We need to be innovating ahead of the curve. There's some amazing stuff happening in society. So this is a message of hope as well for us to, if we keep on green-lighting consents with sand mining, we're not going to be investing in the future, which is what we need to do. There's so many exciting things happening, like recycled sand, aggregates, new materials. There's even companies that are starting to grow concrete and aggregates with bacteria. So this is the future. Mining is not the future. So we need to be doing better design. Concrete is not the greatest material in the world. So there's 3 principles. Design better, use less concrete. Even there's wood that's coming on stream, which is a much better, there's wooden skyscrapers happening now. And so new different materials. We've even got manufactured sand, which in Japan, that's all they do. They don't mine sand. They've known this for 20 years. We're behind the curve. This is dinosaur stuff, sand mining. We've got to get with the program. So we have the New Zealand's most endangered tiara eating bird, but that's not just the only species out there. There's 9 endangered species involved in this area. I'm extremely hopeful for this beach. It gives me such pride and hope just seeing how our community has united, and I hope that it inspires other communities to get involved, and if they see environmental devastation happening, stand up. You have the ability to change this. I want this beach to be here for my grandchildren, for their children's children. It's so important that we protect as humans, we are nature. We're so intrinsically linked. We have to protect this.